I am voting yes on this legislation today. I do so because the good outweighs some of the concerns I have about the lack of possible exceptions. The current law in Michigan allows for a minor who is 16 or 17 years of age to enter into a marriage with the written consent of one parent or legal guardian. A minor under the age of 16 is permitted to enter into marriage with the consent of both all living parents or legal guardians and the order of a probate judge. This statute is extremely flawed and puts young, vulnerable girls at risk of being abused. It is entirely justifiable to seek a change to this law to better protect our kids. That's why I'm supporting this legislation. I do believe, however, this legislation could be improved upon as the process moves forward. Certainly, marriage at certain ages, below the age of 16, for example, should be prohibited without exception under any circumstances. I do have concerns about cases, for example, where a 16-year-old or 17-year-old may become pregnant and the mother and father desire to be married. They may think it is in the best interest of the upbringing of their child, among other possible reasons. In these types of scenarios, for 16 or 17-year-olds, we could increase safeguards. For example, we could require the consent of all living parents or legal guardians, and we could require the order of a probate judge. This type of policy would better protect young girls from abuse while recognizing there are some circumstances that warrant discretion on whether marriage should be allowed. I'll be the first to agree that it is not an optimal situation for two teenagers to find themselves in the situation of an unplanned pregnancy. The fact of the matter is, while this may not be ideal, there are benefits of marriage in this situation, and it is imprudent to fail to weigh the interests of the child. In crafting these laws, we must take into consideration these types of hard realities. But again, the good with this legislation far outweighs other considerations. So I support it and ask that we open the door to possible improvements as the legislation moves forward. Thank you, Mr. President.